Hello, class. Do you remember any of your school dances from high school? Did you like them? Did you have fun? In my senior year of high school, I was ASB president. For my first big project being in this role, we had to do our homecoming dance. As someone who had not been in ASB before, when it came to school dances, I did not think much of how the class went about putting together an event like this. I just simply attended and had fun. So, when I did come into this role, I had doubts about me being able to keep up with this aspect of leadership. In this speech, I hope to share with you an experience that led me to understanding how the behind the scenes of a huge event is hard and important. I learned that I am capable of being in a position like that. To begin, I will describe how our ASB class was and how we came to the decision on the theme of our dance. Next, I will explain how we did the decorations and the stress it came with. Finally, I will share how the actual dance went and how I felt afterwards, and why this is such a memorable experience. So, our ASB class was split up by the grade we were in. The seniors were only a handful. The junior class had the most people. Sophomores and freshmen equally had about the same amount of people. We also had a council that included the president, vice president, treasurer, and other things like that. As a whole, it was clear that some people did most of the work, and when it came to making posters or actually setting up an event, there were other people that didn't do any work. When it came to coming up with a theme or an idea for an activity, we just shot out answers. And as a class, we would knock out the ones we didn't like and narrow it down to one that we did like. For homecoming, we collectively agreed that it needed to be a good theme that would ensure a successful night, especially since this is the time that this would be the first dance after COVID. However, it came down to two opposing themes, where half the class wanted one and the other wanted another. For context, our homecoming was the Friday of Halloween weekend. Our two themes were a Hollywood night or a thriller night. The juniors and freshmen wanted Hollywood, and the seniors and sophomores wanted thriller. I loved the idea of having a homecoming dance that was a Halloween theme where people could choose to dress up in a costume or even just dress elegantly. To decide on the theme, we took it to the students of the school, and they ended up deciding that Thriller Night would be best. Now that you understand the theme choice, I will discuss how we did the decorations. As president, you need to delegate jobs to everyone in order to get what we needed done quicker and cohesively. But this was hard because a lot of the students in this class did not like doing any work. This was very stressful because for this theme, we needed lots of Halloween decorations to bring this idea alive. I even took it upon myself to turn to some teachers who were willing to help with lending us decorations from their own homes. My uncle also let us use some of his statues of Michael Myers and some scary animatronics. A lot of the jobs I gave out never got finished, so the seniors of the class, including myself, had to do it. It was 4 of us plus the few freshmen who cared enough to help. It was a lot of work, but we pushed through it. Lots of different decorations, plus the centerpieces we needed to build for the many tables we were going to have. Think of any Halloween decoration you have seen on houses during the season. We had it. It took us the whole month to prepare, and we finally had everything done the day of. We even had spider webs. We had wood cutouts of gravestones that had teachers' names on them. And we had, oh my god, you just learned about the stress of preparing that I went through. Next, I will tell you how the night went. The stress did not end there. To set up, there were only 5 of us who showed up. Thankfully, I had a plan. During lunch, I made sure to come up with a checklist of what was to do. I simply split up what was needed amongst those who were there, and we got to work. We also had a saving grace about 30 minutes into setup. One of the clubs from our old school came to help us because their teacher was one of the ones who lent us some decorations. Now finally the dance happens. Based on ticket sales, we were expecting about 250 students, but the amount that actually went was about 340. Many people were dressed in costumes and others were dressed elegantly. Everyone was having fun. They were taking pictures, eating the tacos that we had hired. We had snow cones, we had candy, there was dancing, we crowned king and queen. The decor of it all really came together. A Thriller night truly came to life. Now, that I just described how the night went, finally I will tell you what I learned. Today I discussed my experience with taking on an important role. In closing, I learned that staying calm throughout a difficult situation really goes a long way. Especially if you are a leader, there are people who are looking to you for answers. This was one of the many stressful events that happened during that year, but each time it got easier understanding how to handle it and how to get the whole class to work together. I am really proud that night went better than expected and so many people went. For the rest of that week after, all people talked about was how much fun that dance was.